Everyone thinks Atsu is just another revenge-driven samurai. But here's the truth. She's not trying to kill her enemies. She's trying to decide if they even deserve to die. Yeah, that's not a warrior anymore. That's someone fighting a war inside her own head. And trust me, that battle might be way more dangerous than anything she faces on the battlefield. Welcome to episode 9 of the 50 character series, where we break down the complete backstory of game characters, from protagonists to villains to even side characters you probably ignored. And today's episode is about Atsu from Ghost of Yotei, a lone warrior, a mercenary, and possibly one of the most emotionally conflicted characters we've seen so far. Atsu's story takes place in Ezo, modern-day Hokkaido, set in the early Edo period, long after the era of Ghost of Tsushima. So yeah, if you were expecting Jin Sakai, nope. This is a completely new story, a new ghost, and this one feels a lot more personal. Atsu isn't fighting for honor, or for a clan, or even for survival. She's hunting down 6 specific people, the group known as the Yotei 6, each name written on a sash she carries across her chest. Yeah, imagine carrying your hit list like a to-do list. And one by one, she's crossing them out. But why? What pushed her this far? 16 years ago, her entire life burned down. Her parents were slaughtered by those same 6 outlaws. And Atsu? She wasn't just left for dead. She was pinned to a burning ginkgo tree. Let that sink in for a second. Burning, alive, unable to move. And somehow, she survived. Now here's the interesting part. Surviving something like that, in Japanese folklore, that's not just survival. That's how vengeful spirits are born. So the question is, did Atsu survive, or did something else come back that day? Because before all this, Atsu wasn't a warrior. She was a swordsmith's daughter. Her father forged blades. Her mother connected to music, which is why Atsu still carries a shamisen on her back. Yeah, a revenge-driven killer carrying a musical instrument. That alone should tell you there's something very off about this story. After the attack, Atsu disappears. Not emotionally, physically, for 16 years. And during that time, she learns how to fight, how to kill, how to hunt. She becomes a ronin, a mercenary, a weapon. And not just with swords, she masters dual katanas, a massive odachi greatsword, pistols and rifles, bow and arrow, even a grappling hook. At this point, she's basically a walking arsenal. But here's where it gets deeper. She didn't just train to win fights. She trained to never feel powerless again. Everything about Atsu's design tells a story. Her yellow outfit, inspired by that burning ginkgo tree. Her twin wolf sword motif, a connection to her brother. Wait, brother? Yeah, hold that thought. And that shamisen, a reminder of her mother. So even while she's killing people, she's literally carrying her past with her. Every step, every fight, every decision. Now this is where Atsu completely breaks the revenge character stereotype, because she's not just angry, she's conflicted. On one hand, she's ruthless, focused, cold enough to hunt people across an entire region. But on the other hand, there are moments where she just stops, breathes, and plays music. No enemies, no violence, just silence. And then there's Oyuki, one of the Yotei 6, someone she was supposed to kill. But instead, she sits with her, plays music, and tries to understand her. Who does that? Who sits down with their enemy mid-revenge arc? And the craziest part? She lets her live. Like imagine grinding for 16 years, tracking someone down, and then going, maybe not today. And why didn't Atsu kill her? It's behind Oyuki's past, but today we're covering Atsu only, so let's just skip her story for today. There are also hints that Atsu might not be entirely normal anymore. Her presence in combat creates fear, almost like an aura. There's even a suggestion of an Onryu-like state, a vengeful spirit form.
which again raises the question, is she controlling her rage, or is her rage controlling her? In combat, Atsu is terrifying. She blends traditional samurai techniques with firearms, something we didn't really see with Jin Sakai. She moves aggressively, switches weapons mid-fight, uses her wolf companion to destabilize enemies, and even throws swords as projectiles. So yeah, if you thought she was just another samurai, you might want to rethink that. But her biggest weakness isn't her enemies, it's her tunnel vision, her obsession with revenge, and the emotional damage she never healed from. Because deep down, she's still that girl, standing in front of a burning ginkgo tree, watching everything she loved disappear. One by one, she killed all 5 members of Yotei 6: Snake, Oni, Dragon, Spider, and finally, Nariaki Saito. But in her last fight against Saito, she lost another family member, her brother, who survived that night even after getting shot, but at the end, died by Saito in the final battle. But eventually, Atsu killed Nariaki Saito, and after that, she starts living a peaceful life again with her nieces. So with that, the story of Atsu ends here, but there are still many characters left in Ghost of Yotei, which I will cover in the upcoming episodes, so make sure you subscribe, because only a small percentage of people actually do, and trust me, you don't want to fall behind on this series. Also, comment down, which character should I cover next, and if I missed anything about Atsu. And if you want to see another intense character breakdown, check out episode 6, where I covered Ethan Winters from Resident Evil 7 and 8. Until then, stay curious, because some characters aren't as simple as they look.